Hey everyone, Weekly Reviews here. It is that time of the week when I do my Survivor recap. So, this was probably one of the most intensely epic episodes I've ever seen in Survivor. So, let's start off with the Brains Tribe. The Brains Tribe, you basically saw recovering from the last tribal council when they voted Liz off, and Peter was kind of taking that all in because it was a shock because I was the only person in his alliance, and he's like, I'm going to take everyone out one by one. I'm like, see, that right there is exactly why they had to split you guys up, is because those two were gonna, those two seemed kind of self-righteous and everything, and tried to have control over the game and everything. And I feel like Debbie is definitely the one in control of the whole Brains tribe. She's definitely the brains behind the whole operation. So they actually separated the reward challenge and the immunity challenge this episode, and the reward challenge, I was literally sitting on the edge of my seat because it was so tough. It was so intense for these guys. It must be I mean, it's always hard doing a challenge on Survivor, but in this intense heat and everything, they were literally dropping like flies out there. You first see the Brains tribe wins the challenge, and Debbie actually drops down because of a heat stroke, and she didn't want medical to come look at her first because she didn't want to get sent home. But Joe said for medic to come, and they looked at her and they were able to cool her down by dumping some water on her and putting her in some shade, and Debbie was all good to go then. And it was what was actually interesting about that whole challenge is the fact that it took these guys an hour to try to find these balls in the sand, and I don't know if I haven't seen that in a while, but you see the Beauty tribe trying to get their last ball in, and the Brawn tribe still behind, and of course Princess Lazy is just kicking the sand around while everyone else is digging and digging. And I'm like, she's also cheerleading what Scott says is cheerleading too at the same time. Like, this is not the time to do your little cheer routine. You need to be digging in the ground to help your team win. I mean, come on. So the Beauty tribe ends up pulling it off and they win, but all of a sudden you see Caleb drop and it looks really bad for him. Like, they were even trying to talk to him and he was like kind of unresponsive there for a minute. And then the next second you see Sydney drop and she's like crying because she doesn't want to get sent home. And I don't care who you are in Survivor, a medevac is the worst way to go, because to work so hard for something, to work so hard on Survivor, I mean, you tried so hard to get on the show and tried so hard in the game, and to get pulled from the game like that is just awful. And what actually was very uplifting to see is how loyal the teammates were. You saw Jason taking care of Sydney. He didn't leave Sydney's side. He was like helping her, trying to cool her off, putting water on her. And then the Beauty tribe was actually, it was actually inspiring because they are very loyal. Caleb, unfortunately, was so bad that he had to be pulled from the game, and the whole Beauty tribe just sobbed and cried, and it really showed their loyalty and how good friends they were. And it was so sad. I don't think I've ever seen anybody, well, I've seen people be pulled from the game, but not as bad as Caleb was, and it was just awful. I felt for him. And Sydney was doing better, so she was able to go back to her team, and they went to the immunity challenge, and the Brains tribe and the Beauty tribe end up pulling it off again. And the Brawn tribe have to go to tribal council, and I'm like, if I was actually hoping they would lose, because I'm hoping they'd get Princess Lazy off because she's just ridiculous. Like, she seems like she's a big drama queen. Like, she wants to create drama and everything. Like, she wants attention. Like, even back at camp, it seemed like she was starting to start an argument with Scott and Jason. It was just ridiculous. And she's like, I worked hard. I'm like, you didn't do anything. You just stood there and kicked the sand around. I'm like, you always try to take the easy way out of everything. And it was actually Jason who pointed out that he wants to raise his daughters to be to be independent women and to be able to take care of himself. And that right there shows a good father. So I have to give a thumbs up to Jason for that. And when they lost the challenge, they wanted to do the tribal council right there because it was unanimous, but Alicia didn't want to. And when they went to tribal council, it was pretty obvious what was going to happen. Sydney, Jason, and Scott didn't want to change their vote, and Alicia finally went home. It was, I just can't believe it took these guys so long to get her off. I think they made a big mistake keeping her this long. They actually, from the previews for next week, it seems like they got her off at a good time because it looks like they're going to be switching tribes next week. So it's good that they got her off now because she would have, I'm telling you, she would have went right to the beauty tribe and that all girls alliance. So those guys, I hope they can survive the tribe switch. The tribe switch, and I hope they can remain a solid 3 like the Brains tribe was in Cagayan. So I feel really sorry for Caleb for being sent home this early. I hope maybe if they have another season, I remember they had a season where some of the medevacs came and played it back again. Maybe Caleb will get another chance. I hope Alicia does not get a second chance. I think out of all the people so far, she does not deserve a second chance because she's just ridiculous. So if you want to catch next week's episode of Survivor, it is on Wednesdays, 8 p.m. on CBS. I hope you enjoyed this Survivor recap, and until next time, stay regal.